Hey guys, Hector here with another American vlog. Since we're in an election year, I figured I'd try and explain how the United States elects a president as easy and quickly as possible, and it is pretty complicated, so just bear with me. So a lot of people are kind of surprised how long our election cycles are, since it takes about a year to do the actual election thingy, and then it's like another half a year at least where people start saying, oh, okay, I'm gonna run for president, and then do all these speeches and stuff. So our whole election cycle type thingy is usually about a year and a half long, which is incredibly long compared to a lot of other countries. So once people, say, okay, we're running for president and everything, and then we get into the actual election year, we do something called like primaries and caucuses. They're two different things, sort of, but they're pretty much, they have the same outcome, basically. So the people who are running for president go state to state, and they do a smaller election, but elections that are only open for that particular state. And this is where they vote for who's going to be the party nominee. Pretty much there's only two parties in the United States, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. So in some states, only Republican people who are registered as Republican can vote to see who's going to be the Republican nominee. People who are only registered as Democrats can vote to see who's going to be the Democratic nominee in their state. But other states allow both the people in their party and like independents or no party affiliate or whatever to vote in the primary and caucus either side. Well, Democrats can only go Democrat, Republican can only go Republican, but independent and non-party can go either Democrat or Republican, but not both, at least to my knowledge. So they don't do this all at once. They usually do like a few states once a week or once every other week. It's just really spread out. So of course we have 50 states plus some U.S. territories, and well, they don't really go, but so the United States citizens who are living abroad also vote, and then that's how we select a party nominee. But it isn't really just the popular vote. So, well, it kind of is. So the people vote for their nominee, and then based on the votes, usually, at least on the Republican side, based on the votes, the people who are running for the nomination, they get these things called delegates, which are pretty much people who are like important people, sort of, who are going to vote for that person and say he or she is going to be the nominee. So some states say the overall winner gets all the delegates. Some states say it's proportional, so if this guy gets the most votes, he gets the most delegates, but this guy gets second most votes, and then he gets second most delegates, and on like that. So to be the party nominee, you have to get a certain amount of delegates. If you don't get that certain amount of delegates, and there's more than one person, then more than one person becomes the party nominee into the general election. And like I said, only the Republican side pretty much has that straightforward thing. The Democratic side, for some reason, has something called superdelegates, where there are some people who can vote for whoever they want. It doesn't matter who the people voted for. But I will say that doesn't happen right away. They don't do the votes until all the primaries and caucuses are done with, and then they say, okay, we're going to vote for this person or this person, and we might follow who the voters are saying, and we might not. Last time, when it was Hillary Clinton versus Barack Obama, pretty much most of the superdelegates said they were going to vote for Hillary Clinton, but then Barack Obama started getting all the popular votes, so they switched over and said, okay, we're going for Obama. Once we have the candidates, they pick a vice president, and they go into the general election at the end of the year. That's when everybody in the United States votes on who's going to be the next president of the United States, well, for the next 4 years, because the presidential term only lasts for 4 years, and a person can only run for president twice. Or, well, not run, but win the presidency twice. So a person can only be president for a total of 8 years, but they can run as many times as they like if they keep losing. So they keep losing, they can keep running and until they win, basically. And it does not have to be back-to-back. One person can win a presidential term, then totally different other person can win a presidential term, and then that same person from before can go on to be president again for their second term. And that has happened before in U.S. history. But it isn't just the United States citizens voting for who's going to be president. It's kind of like a mixture between the U.S. citizens and Congress, and they have electors basically who vote for president. That's called the Electoral College. And so usually the electors vote based on how their state is going. So like, let's say California votes for one person, the electors for California, because each state has their own electors, the electors for California will say, well, my state seems to be going all for this person, so I'm going to vote for this person. They can do that, but they don't have to. And so we sort of kind of elect our president, but then not exactly. It is a huge mixture with delegates and electors and all this stuff like that. But we sort of kind of do elect our president. So yeah, it is pretty complicated. So I hope I explained it very simply, and I did it as best I could. So yeah, if you're still a little confused, you can try and leave a comment, and I will try and answer it as best as I can. But I guess that's it. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful, or if you just appreciated me doing it. And you can also leave a comment for other American related topics that you might want me to cover in future videos. But I guess that's all I got to say, so see you guys later.